everyone, this is Kelly from The Truth in Story, and today is day, let me make sure, today's the 5th. Today is January 5th, and this is actually going to be quite quick because Katie's been over for supper. I made a absolutely delicious, it's called shrimp and lobster sauce, but there's no lobster in it. I don't know why they call it that, but it's absolutely amazing. It's about my 3rd or 4th time making it, and I feel like I finally nailed it. So it is delicious. But this is day 5 of the tarot, 31 Days of Tarot. Sorry, my brain is like, rah! We had a fantastic meal. We watched a movie called The Exterminator, something like that, with Denzel Washington. It was very, very brutal. Very well done, but it's Denzel Washington. He's always fantastic. So we watched that, and so anyways, I just wanted to pop on here because I almost thought, oh my goodness, I'm actually going to miss a day. I thought, no, I'm just going to get on real quick and answer the question. And the question was, Isabel's all wired up. The question for today is, what tarot decks are you looking forward to getting to know better in 2016? The first one that came to mind for that question was the Wildwood Tarot. I've had the Wildwood Tarot for some time. I do not consider this Rider-Waite based. I do have a review of this deck. I absolutely love this. This artwork is by Will Worthington, whom I am a adoring fan of. But I do believe it pretty much follows its own system, and so I really wanted to spend some time with it. The way that I'm going to be doing that this year is I'm going to be really focusing on the Wheel of the Year a lot this year, and I'm going to be using anything to do with that. I'm going to be using the Wildwood Tarot because it, you know, the guidebook itself centers around the Wheel of the Year. I need to do, there's a graphic that comes with the Wildwood Tarot that really starts to talk about the layers in terms of the Wheel of the Year, both the outer realm, the inner realm, and so I really do want to, I've been working with that for a little bit kind of in preparation, and so I have had people ask me to do a little bit more of a thorough, not like a card by card because they've already done that, but like really getting into that chart and the way that the Wheel of the Year works in the Wildwood Tarot. So I am going to be doing a video on that for myself, because when I do videos on things, it helps me to solidify my learning. So a lot of times when I've done videos, it's because I've kind of put the work into for myself, and then it helps me to say it. You know, when you teach somebody something, or you try to teach somebody something, it helps solidify it in your own mind. So I will probably be doing a video on that, which may or not appeal to everybody, but I think that it will have stuff in it that will be pertinent. Look at that. Oh. So this is definitely one, again, I've had it, I read with it, but I really want to get into it as its own kind of system versus kind of trying to fit it in with Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. So that's the first one that came to mind. And then some of my newer decks, all my decks, like I said, I'm kind of finding seasonal decks. I definitely am going to be working with the Wooden Tarot. I haven't, other than I've done the walkthrough, which I haven't put up yet because I wanted to work with this a little bit before I finish, kind of put on an addendum to the walkthrough of how it read. And so I will be doing that in the next week or so, and then putting my walkthrough up. But I definitely want to work with the Wooden Tarot some more. I just got the Dreaming Way Tarot from a wonderful viewer and client, and so I definitely, now this one is one of those I think you can just pick up and use because it is very Rider-Waite-Smith. There are a couple images that deviate, but for the most part, it's very Rider-Waite-Smith. So it's one of those you really can pick up and use. So I guess this one's not so much getting to know more as much as I just want to work with it some more because it's a newer deck. So that one I'm just kind of looking forward to using. In terms of like getting to know, like where I think it's going to need some work, the two decks would be the Wildwood and the Bone, or the Wooden Tarot. I always call this, I'm really wanting the Bonefire Tarot to come out again, be republished. I know it's going to be, I'm just not very patiently waiting. These are the two that I think are going to need some like getting to know time. If something is Rider-Waite-Smith, Rider-Waite-Smith base. I don't feel like I really need to put that much time into getting to know it. It's just more working with it and kind of having fun working with it. The other one would be the Celtic Dragon Tarot, just because I have gotten this recently. I really haven't, I've done some readings with it, but I haven't worked with it a whole lot. So this one, again, I haven't, other than the walkthrough, and I've done some reading with it. It's close. There's a lot of Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, but I just haven't worked with it enough to get a feel for all that. I love that Two of Pentacles. Look at that. So I am excited to work with this one and get to know its energy, so to speak. Although, like I said, I don't think it's going to take a lot of work like the other two, but they're just ones that are newer that I'll just want to be spending. So I'm looking forward to spending time with. Same thing with the, this one's going to take a little work because it's in Polish, because there's a lot of stones and crystals. The whole thing is stones and crystals, and so I need to work and understand those energies more. I do have a walkthrough of this. It's all done actually and edited. I just need to upload it. So I'm really looking forward to working with this one and getting a hold of its meanings a little bit more, because I love this little deck. So yeah, so those are the cards that I am, or the decks that I'm looking forward to either working with more deeply, like with the Wooden Tarot and the Wildwood Tarot, or just getting to know like the other. And I have more than that. I just kind of grabbed what was at the surface of, you know, what was quick, because again, I'm kind of in a little bit of rush with company, so I just wanted to, but I didn't want to miss. So I'm going to go ahead and draw today a card from the Wooden Tarot, just because. Why? I was just thinking, oh my goodness, did I have that? But I haven't. I didn't have it in order because I'm already done with the walkthrough. All I want to do is a little bit of an add-on about how it reads. So let's see what we get here. And I do apologize. This one's a little bit more rushed, but some of them are way too long. So I guess a couple little ones will probably be nothing but a relief for you all. We'll see what we get with this one. I don't know. Okay, so this is one I do think I'm going to need a little bit of work with. And this is the Five of Blooms. Now, I quite like this. This would be the Five of Cups. And I love this because in a forest, I mean, what is more sort of devastating than a chopped down trees? You know, these are trees that have, instead of spilled cups, you have chopped down trees. Now, normally you have three cups spilled and 2 cups up, right? Generally, these are all 5 chopped down, which is quite interesting. Now, there's no guidebook with the Wooden Tarot. You're really supposed to just either read straight off of Rider-Waite-Smith book, or just kind of off your intuition. Now, I generally say with this to turn towards the Five of Cups, I'm generally saying, you know, yes, there's been things that you have lost, but turn towards the things that are not lost, you know, the 2 cups that are filled, because we don't have this here. We do have the understanding of regrowth. I don't know. I mean, a tree that's completely chopped down like this isn't going to regrow. So for me, this would feel a little bit more like the Eight of Cups, like things are sort of done here. It's time to just move on. These things are chopped down. You can't unchop them down. You know, take the wood that's been chopped down and use it wisely so that it's not wasted. And kind of move away. So it'll be interesting to look at closely what the Eight of Cups is in this deck. I don't really want to right this minute search through it and try to find it, because that would be the plumes. Because you know it's not going to be easy to find. Every time I try to find something, it's not easy, because I'd be curious as to, and this is why I really am going to be spending some actual time with this deck. Let me just see something real quick. Lifestyle changes. I'm just looking at like a real basic tarot. And the Eight of, or not Eight, we need the Five of Cups. loss, regret, and new hope. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of hope aspect here, which is normally what I see in the Five of Cups. So for me, this really would be something that I would read that would be to say, okay, there's things that we just have to accept are done and over with, and it's just time to move on. Just like intuitively, that's how I would read this, because we don't have the two upright cups to face. So I do think that this deck, while the author says just to read the Rider-Waite-Smith, I don't think you can necessarily do that. You're going to have to modify it a little bit off of that. So I would say, you know, it's January, so there are some things that we just have to simply let go of. These trees have been chopped down for whatever caused them to be chopped down. We can't really go back and fix it. So some things we just have to let be as what they are and just go ahead and move forward. So think about the things that you need to just let go of and walk forward on. And so that's what I would get out of this, and that's why this is on that. That's how I would answer this particular question, that this is a deck that I would want, I'm looking forward to working with in 2016. So thank you very much for listening to this quick one, and I hope you have a wonderful night. If you're watching this in the morning, which I know a lot of you do, have an absolutely wonderful day.